Hey guys, it's Mike, another Raid Shadow Legend video on the free-to-play 2025. Got a couple shards we're going to pull today, kind of look at some progress and kind of work through the account a little bit. We're getting super close to getting our 6-star Alice. We have, I think, we have 3 chickens here, and then we have the other 2 of the 40s, and then we have 3 of the 3 stars ready to go to 4 stars, so we're working up on our 4th here, and I do have a couple 4-star chickens, so we're a little closer than I even look here. So we're going to try to press that on. I did start getting into a tag team arena. They're always trying to sell me something. Did get into tag team arena and actually got into the bazaar where I can buy this energy. Honestly, don't know if it's the best value. Long term, I would definitely start picking up Drexar fragments, but I don't think I'll be playing that long to get him as a champion on the account, although I think it's a 3-month challenge, so maybe in 3 months I would get him. I don't know. But I think I'm going to buy this energy to get my 6-star character. On the daily quests, I'm able to grind out all the dailies. Working on the weekly here is my 2nd weekend. And then we're working on the monthly, which I can't wait till we get these. This might be the first sacred shard on the account. Although I should be able to get the 2 or 3 stars across the board in brutal and get that sacred before the month is over. In the advanced quest we have here, you do get some good resources up here. There's that 5-star chicken I've been talking a lot about, a legendary tome. In yesterday's video I actually mentioned I haven't gotten a single legendary tome. That's actually not true. I'm not sure where I got them, but I do have actually 3 legendary tomes that I can work on putting into Alice, which we'll go ahead and do that right now. Ideally getting some of these cooldowns for these abilities, so that would be the best way to go, but chances for me it's going to be on her A1 because of course it is. How do we do? I think we actually did really good. Look at that. If you complain enough, good things happen. So I got 2 books over here to get extra 20% damage on that ability, 10% damage on that. Another 2 books will hopefully get to the cooldown, and 3 over here to get into that. So that was very fortunate the way that played out, so I'm pretty stoked on that. We did get Alice all the way up to level 50, and we got her 3-star ascended. So with her ability here on the ascension, I think it was this guy here, it was a passive that becomes available after ascension. So that is a skill that is actually active for her now. So that's an awesome pickup. And then as soon as we get those 5-star chickens, we're going to go ahead and give her this barrel, take her right to level 60, so she'll be ready to go, which I think is probably the best use case for the barrel, is right out of the gate. But obviously later on in the game, when you're trying to get somebody to level 60, you don't really want to level them up. That's a great way to do it too, but right now that's going to be a huge win on the account. I have been able to get my farm team going, and we're doing 12-6 right now. 12-3 actually does get you a little better on the silver front. By selling shields. Is just a higher asset. Don't really know why, but it is. 12-6 gets the account a little more energy, and then also a little more experience, and then also the players get a little more experience. But we did get our food farming team going with Alice and Kale. They are able to do it, I'd say probably 95 to 99% of the time. Every now and then there's the bombs get on my team, and it just happens to kill them both. So I could probably work on getting their resistance a little higher. The run is not fast. In fact, it's painfully slow, but it does get done, and it's a way of farming some food. So I've got a 3-star chicken over here, a 2-star to go into 3-star chicken. I believe the run actually ends up being about 30 to 40 seconds, which is where, you know, you start looking at some of those other characters. Like if you happen to pull a Skull Crown or even a Bellower, although he's going to require a lot more gear because his base stats aren't as good, but with all those AoE abilities, he's going to blaze through this really fast. I think there's a Fellhound. He's a Void rare character that actually does, I think, the fastest, or Queen Eva, who's her claim to fame as a legendary character. She can farm campaign like nobody's business. But, you know, it's something that would kind of pick this up for me so I could roll through and get this done a little more efficiently. Although, to be fair, I don't have enough energy where it really matters. So, you know, if it takes a minute per run, it takes a minute per run. But we're almost through it. But I am going to buy that 300 energy and put it into this and farm as much food as I can. And hopefully that will get my Alice to 6 stars. And that should also pick up my run time as well. But that's what I got going on in the farm. That's where I've been spending most of my energy. I spent a little more in the potion keep because magic potions open today. So I was getting those potions to get Alice ascended to 3 stars. I would like to get her all the way to 6 stars, but drop rates where I am are just atrocious. I literally burned through 200 energy and I didn't get a single of the best potions. I ended up having to mix them all the way up, and so it was just a complete waste. But we talked about drop rates and how horrible they are, so we're not going to get into that today. But we're going to go ahead and pull these shards, get some more food, so I can farm it in the campaign and get some more chickens ready for, hey, we got a rare, that's awesome. That's actually, I don't know that I've seen this champion. So rare, probably not worth talking about, but we're going to go ahead and keep on keeping on. But that's a 3-star chicken at the very least. After I get to the 6-star character, another rare. That's Apothecary's useless brother over there. But after I get Alice to 6 stars, at that point we can start looking at potentially kind of keeping some of the faction war people, getting them up to maybe like 4-star or something like that. But I do want to start getting a team that I can start blazing through some of Nightmare, hopefully, and I think I can do that with a 6-star and a couple 5-star 50s potentially, but I don't know, and it's probably not the best place to spend my energy just because I'm gonna have to use maxed out characters, so all the experience that I gain in that space is just gonna be wasted. So we're gonna go clean up some space and then we'll be right back. Seeing how I'm doing this is another opportunity that I think would be a big win. Moving over to GodForge is a much cleaner way to upgrade these characters. The fact that you're limited to 6 is kind of stupid. I should just be able to click all these characters in a much more effective way and then hit, feed, and then we just move on. This takes kind of an obnoxious amount of time, to be honest with you. All right, we got that cleaned up and we're coming back in here. So again, I don't know there's really any rares in the... We've been getting really fortunate with these rares though. So that's some 3-star chickens that'll definitely expedite that process of getting Alice up to 6-star. Might even be worth looking into prior to buying that energy, just in case I save that 1,000 bizarre token gold, I don't know, whatever currency that is, and potentially get another ancient shard or something like that, or start working on Drexar maybe. I don't know. That's gonna have to require some thought. We'll see about getting Brock. He's one of the better fusions that ever existed, and that's kind of the nice thing about doing some of those fragment events or fusion events is every now and then you get some really good, strong characters. But since they started doing the enhancement where you can level them up 4 times, now you need the RNG to actually pull the character 4 more times in order to really get them maxed out, which is kind of unfortunate. Man, we are on a dry spell. I feel like it's been a minute since we've gotten an epic. But that's what we got on the ancient shard, so that's where we're at. Alright, so we did get enough to get 1 more 4-star food, so we're going to grab this guy here. We're going to bam, bam. Oh, sacrifice. Yeah, I can farm her, so that's okay. Get those chickens and upgrade. So that is our 4th 5-star chicken right there. So we need 1 more to make this happen. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and we were just waiting for that 5th. So we do have our 4-star 40 right here. We have 1 3-star 30. We're working on our next 3-star 30. So we have 2 more on top of those, and then we got to get our 3-star chickens. But I think I could probably do that with 300 energy. So we are going to buy that and see how it goes. All right, so we got our multi-battle auto going on in the background. We're winning most of these battles at least. So we're going to start farming up some food and getting, hopefully, Alice to, I want to call her Lady Kimmy again, getting Alice to 6-star, hopefully by the end of this 300 power. If not, when the resources reset here shortly, I should be able to get it done. But we were talking about some of the things that could make this game just a little bit better, specifically for endgame players. You can see here I'm farming this, and I've probably farmed this, I can't tell you how many times in my career with Raid. I think my runs are a minute or longer in some of these cases, and it's just kind of a struggle. I do think one way around it, like there is a certain benefit to making me want to build a faster team and a more efficient team. And I think that if you had, like, once you beat this level 10,000 times, 5,000 times, I don't know, pick a number that's appropriate, then you could just sim it from then on out. So you'd still be interested in building a better team to get to your 10,000 runs faster. But on an in-game account like my main account, there's not a lot of benefit for me running. Like, I mean, I need to run this campaign all the time to farm food. But even with 7-second runs, I'm blazing through it pretty quickly, and I'm still wasting a lot of time doing a thing that I've done thousands of times. And so as a player, it's not engaging. It's just kind of an extra thing to do. I just am trying to get more auto battles so I can walk away from my phone while it does it. Whereas I think that if you started doing the game-life balance for in-game players and spaces like that, it could be a huge benefit. Because then I'm not wasting 45 minutes farming food, and I can go spend 45 minutes trying to put together a better team for Hard Dragon or Hard Fire Knight or get through the Siege or some of these other challenging things, these game modes that by the time you get to them, you're kind of burnt out and you're just trying to rush through them, so you're not really enjoying them anyway. It'd be more fun if those were the things that you started with every time you open the account. You just go through, sim all your simmables, and then move on. And I don't think it should be something at this stage in the game where I should be able to do it. Obviously, I think the grind is real, and that's part of the reason we love these games. But at a certain point, this is no longer challenging or engaging. Like, I have my team maxed out on my main account. I can farm this in 7 seconds. I can't do it faster than that. I can't build a different champion that does better. I think Fellhound can do it in 6 seconds. But, you know, I mean, my Skull Crown's decked out. She's good to go, and that's what she does. So I feel like at that point in the game, like, there's not really much more for me to gain from farming here other than food. And it's obviously I need food. So it'd be cool for me to be able to send these. The other thing that could be kind of cool is just like an energy thing, is maybe over time you open up additional slots where you can have 8 people on your bench instead, like 4 people fighting and then 4 people on your bench that are all gaining experience at the same time. And that might be something you can unlock later in the game when you're in game, so you can farm food a little faster, so that it doesn't take as much energy away from things that you want to do, which I think would be a big benefit. The other thing is, like on this team right here, 2 of my champions are completely maxed out. So half of the experience I'm earning right now is completely wasted. It'd be kind of cool if that got bottled up somehow or something where I could go and allocate that to other champions. Or it would just take the 100% of energy and divide it amongst the champions that don't have it. Or like when I'm doing campaign farming and I'm trying to press the account along and I need to use all of my maxed out champions, it'd be cool to be able to bottle up that experience and start putting it in and leveling up food. So I think there are some opportunities there that would be beneficial, that make, like, you know, farming and just game progression a little better, and help out with the chickens that you need and the grind of trying to get a 6-star character. I think all those things would definitely help you out along the way. So I technically should rebuild my Alice and get her crit rate up to 100%, probably put her in all of Kale's gear, but unfortunately to do that, it's going to cost a lot of silver that I just don't have right now. And again, I think that's just a frustrating thing at this stage in the game, to limit your players, to tell them like, hey, you can't move gear around, you can't build different builds and try different things. Like, I think that's incredibly frustrating, and it's a huge miss, because I do think it is one of the more fun aspects of this game. The other thing I've been meaning to talk about for a long time is I do really like in this game that how you can personalize every character with the gear sets that are available in the game within reason. For example, you have like the lifesteal, you have ways you can build Kale to be super damaging or high accuracy to be a poisoner. You could build him super fast. Oh, I might lose this. Oh no. That's all right. We get most of the experience anyway. But you could build him to be super fast. You could build each character in a lot of different ways. And I think that that's a really cool aspect to the game that allows a lot of kind of individual progression, where it's like you can build characters to do the things you need to do. I do think Raid went way over the top with the number of gear sets. I don't know how many there are in the game. There's probably 50 or more. And it's, at this point, like, coming back is incredibly overwhelming. Like, as far as like all the things you can get from Doom Tower, all the different things you can forge in the forge with materials you get from Faction Wars and Doom Tower and everything else, and then the different sets they've been launching on the different battle passes, and it's just almost, it's way too much. It's way too much. I like the idea of being able to allocate specific pieces of gear towards specific things like defense or HP or crit rate or crit damage and all those different things. I think is a huge win, but I don't know that we need 57 gear sets in the game like that. For GodForge, I hope they don't have that many gear sets. I hope there is a lot of utility in the gear sets they do have where you can individualize your particular character. So not every single time you see a Kale, they're built the exact same way. It'd be kind of fun to be able to have different aspects to each of those characters and kind of have that variable come in. But within reason. And I do think Raid kind of went over the top with that. I don't know how they fix it at this point. I'm short of like some consolidation or something. But I mean, they could just stop giving you materials for some of the gear sets and just let them kind of die out over time. But it's over the top. All right, we were able to do it with that 300 power. So we come in here. We're going to upgrade our Diabolist. And that gives us our 4th 4-star food. So we can come into our Grandmaster, feed up all these champions. We are bare bones. This is all the food we made. Although that being said, we do have a couple 4-star 40s like Coffin Smasher and the other Reviver guy, Meat Carver, or whatever he's doing. So that I think will be a good start to getting our next 6-star character. All right, so we have all the food lined up. We're going to the tavern. We are going to rank up on day 8. Day 8? Day 8. Let's go ahead and remove the gear. I don't know what's on these folks, so it's probably garbage gear anyway. But on day 8, we are getting our 6-star, first 6-star champion on the account. It's going to be Alice. Yes, I'm sure. We want to sacrifice an Ascended Champion. And we have got her to 6-star. And I have actually never used one of these before. On the main account, I just kept holding them for a rainy day. We are going to apply the full XP barrel. And we are at 6-star 60, just like that. That took, I think, 500,000 silver? Oh, that was ridiculous. Oh, why does it feel so bad, Raid? Why? Alright. Anyway, I have a 6-star 60 Alice. I am super excited about that. We have our first maxed out character on the account on day 8, which I feel like took longer than it should have. I don't know where I would have used better energy and better resources, but did the best I could, and that's where we're at. So now we get to figure out who we're going to do next. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. It means the world to me, and I look forward to seeing you next time.